I'm Gwen, Preston of Resource Maven. We're here at the Metals Investor Forum in Vancouver in January, and I'm joined by Keith Henderson of Velocity Minerals, who's had a pretty fun few days, I would imagine. You guys had big news on Thursday, which was that Atlantic Gold is investing $9 million in Velocity. So great. First of all, I have to point out that Atlantic is one of my top operating groups in the sector. Yeah. They're just phenomenal operators. They deliver it exactly as promised. So for that technical group to see in Velocity sort of a similar setup that they had for what they ended up developing in Nova Scotia, that's pretty cool. So you must be getting some good response to that.
Yeah, we're getting a great response. The phone started ringing. My colleague Joyce has been trying to get analyst meetings, and we did get some analyst meetings, and we've met with all kinds of people, but those are hard meetings to get, and you make a lot of phone calls. But yeah, the phone started ringing. It was pretty good, and people started replying, and we started to get some attention that we were wanting to get. So that's good.
I love the comment you made earlier that you have for quite some time been saying that what you're developing in Bulgaria is kind of similar to what Atlantic Gold has developed in Nova Scotia. Turns out Atlantic was actually listening. So why don't you?
And the only people that believed us.
Right, great. You only need one.
Yeah, it's kind of nice how that worked out.
So in Bulgaria, I mean, what Atlantic has is a central processing facility with deposits that are feeding into it. And that is what you guys are setting up in Bulgaria.
It's exactly what we have. When we first got the opportunity come our way about Bulgaria, and we looked at going in there, we looked firstly for the relationship with the Bulgarian mining company, because who wants to go to a new country and try and make friends? Yeah. We saw that they had an operating CIL plant, and we knew that it would be difficult or impossible to try and permit something like that. At least for a small company like us, we can't tolerate 10 years of permitting. That's not going to work. Yeah. So the fact that that existed was a huge plus. And then it's difficult to pick up ground in Bulgaria, but Gurupsu had lots and lots of ground. All of it was kind of existing deposits. All of them have Soviet-era resources of some description on them, which gives us a great start. And it means we had access to properties without having to go through a 2 or 3 year application process. So all elements came with the deal, and they've been a wonderful partner.
And Gurupsu, it's a good partnership for both sides. Gurupsu has this process plant, and they're really experts at processing. Yeah. And of course, they've had a mind to have something to process, but their exploration is not their forte, and so that's why this is such a good partnership.
Absolutely. The CEO of Gurupsu is a metallurgist. She's one of the top metallurgists in the country, and she knows exactly what she's doing. She loves operating the plant. She's not really that interested in exploration, and while she's done very well at mining, that's probably not her forte either. So having a group like us come in who frankly aren't very good at processing, but we know about all the other bits and pieces, then that works, and it's a lovely partnership.
And so the first project that you guys focused on was Rosino. So let's just talk a little bit about, I mean, in a year you accomplished a huge amount at Rosino. You took it from a historic Soviet era resource to a PEA in the space of a year, and the PEA has some very nice numbers.
It has, and not only that, but we said to people that we were going to do that in a year, and we did, and that's how we want to continue. And it's always been a little bit subject to financing, but now we have some financing that will allow us to keep delivering. The numbers are great. Like, we pulled a PEA maybe a little bit earlier than one might normally do, but the PEA was the mechanism by which we actually earned the interest. So it made sense at that point, and in the context of not a great market and not a great time to raise money, it was a good time to do a PEA. The numbers about 130 million NPV5 after tax and 33% IRR after tax, but we're not finished. We're just going to keep drilling. We started drilling again in December. The first 4 or 5 holes that we put the results out a couple of weeks ago, we're hitting again. All of those hits are from surface down to the bottom of the sediments, just where it hits the basement. Got good grades. They're all outside of the pit margins defined by the PEA, and that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to prove all we got to do is step past this line, and we're going to keep hitting, and that's what we'll keep doing.
And the numbers are good because one of the reasons that you entered Bulgaria and like this set of projects, it's pretty straightforward stuff. In general, these are deposits that are close to surface. They're simple metallurgy, as far as you know, at least. That's why you're able to come up with low all-in sustaining costs for the PEA that you did on Rosino, and that's again one of these analogies with Atlantic, which has the lowest production costs in the industry.
Absolutely. These deposits are boring. If you're a geologist, boring. sandstones, conglomerates, which means nothing to anyone, but they're just boring rocks, and
yeah.
they've got gold in them, and they've got less than 1% pyrite. All we're doing on site is floating it, recovering the pyrite, the gold goes with that, and then we transport a 25, 30 gram con to the CIL plant, and off we go, and it works really, really well.
Yeah.
The metallurgy's been fine, everything's working well. They're clean deposits, they don't have any nasties in them. There's not even any silver worth talking about, it's just rocks, gold, and a little bit of pyrite.
Simple as good.
Simple as good.
You might find it a little boring as a geologist, but it's good at the end of the day.
Mind-numbingly boring, but it's great. And it gives you good numbers, and it's mineable, and we love it.
Well, congrats on the investment. I'm sure you're excited to get out there and really attack this suite of projects now that you have funding in place. I know you've been, for the last year, dreaming of all the holes that you want to drill and all of the
pretty much, yeah.
The leads that you want to follow up in this area. So it's going to be an exciting year for Velocity.
Yeah, we had to focus on Rosno really for financial constraints. We certainly had enough money and we had the ability to raise enough to take it forward, but beyond that was always going to be a struggle. Having this money now, we can make real plans. We can get to the end of those plans without worrying about where the next raise is coming from. And rather than having to run around looking for $1 million and $1.5 million, we can just plan what we're doing and execute it and do it right and deliver the right stuff to the market.
Well, I look forward to keeping up with that.
Okay, thanks, Gwen.
Congrats.